again, the U.S. have to keep in mind when Fabian Johnson or Cherundolo are going to go on the counter.
Matri! Looked like he got it behind, but that flag was up again. Goal arriving, by the way, in the 55th minute for Clint Dempsey. And the Italians are going to make 2 more substitutions now. They're going to bring on Gianpaolo Pazzini of Inter Milan, the striker. And Fabio Barini, former Chelsea player, will make his debut here for Italy. Another striker. Matri substituted, not his night.
No, he was caught offside a couple too many times trying to beat that back line, but this just shows you, you know, Italy's going to push this game. So if the U.S. can do a good job of just possessing that ball and catch them on the counter.
This really makes this interesting now, doesn't it? Going to try and have to up the tempo there. Shea's challenge on Chiellini. Not a man to argue with generally. Here's Barini's first involvement. He's made quite an impact this season with 6 Serie A goals. The former Chelsea man. Last season he was playing for Swansea at the end of the season and played at Wembley in the playoff final when they got promoted. He's now with Roma. Here's the Italian corner kick. Montolivo. Pirlo again. The wounded tiger might be dangerous. Italy were probably pushing the ball around, dominating the game and possession, thinking the goal would come, or a goal did come, but it came for the United States. Maggio. Here's Montolivo again, a big favourite of the coach Prandelli at Fiorentina, as they were doing great things. He's normally in the starting lineup. Ogbonna. Montolivo trying to invent something. No, nothing doing that time either.
That's a good spot from Michael Bradley, though, and the U.S. doing a good job of clogging down the passing lanes. But Fabian Johnson hitting a good ball in, but this is what you have to do. Josie Altidore being strong, but look at that little run from Clint Dempsey. All he wants is a half a yard. Cuts in behind Marchisio, looks for a little bit of space, buries it.
Altidore, who did so well with the goal, holding up the ball and teeing it up for Dempsey to score. The placement was everything in Dempsey's shot. There wasn't a lot of power, but he found the corner of the net.
The finish is great, but it's the run, Ian. It's that little understanding, that instinct to know that Marquisio's coming in deep. I'm going to drop off a half a yard, have a shot.
He just knows where the net is, doesn't he? Particularly this season and last. Clint Dempsey.
You can't teach it. Whatever that is, that little sniff inside that 18-yard box, you can't teach it. Whatever it is, Clint's got it.
Pazzini going down. Not quite so many goals from him this season for Inter, who've been having a difficult time. Claudio Ranieri just about holding on as the coach, but there's a lot of speculation. One newspaper in Italy this morning says Pep Guardiola might get the job. Now then, here is Pazzini. Found a bit of space. Oh, and Barini looking to mark his debut with a goal.
Yeah, the U.S. have to be careful here. Pazzini's come in, looked very dangerous, having his head up right at Tim Howard. U.S. can't sit in. Too much time left in this game.
A reminder that the U.S. under-23 men's national team play Mexico at 10 o'clock Eastern this evening. That's on Telefutura at the FC Dallas Stadium. Make sure you catch that as they move towards the Olympic Games. Breck Shea was supposed to be playing in that, but was needed here because of withdrawals from this squad. can they see this through? It would be some result if the US were able to do this. Here's Dempsey. Only Altidore for company. He's clever enough to just hold it up and retain possession. No substitutions made at all by Jurgen Klinsmann so far. It's Altidore again. Learning all the time, Josie Altidore. Danny Williams. Deflected off Pirlo's head. That might have been problems. Really deflected into that little space behind his defenders.
But if your right back Steve Cherundolo is going to make that long of a run, you got to knock him in if you're Danny Williams. Allow that overlapping run from Steve Cherundolo to whip the ball in.
Montalivo tries to play in Pazzini. They've used 4 substitutions so far, the Italians. Not all the national coaches like these games, particularly at this time of year with it being busy with the Champions League still in full swing. But it seems to me that club managers never think it's a good time for internationals.
Whenever your players are playing games not for your team, I don't know any coach that likes it.
Yeah. But the rest of us do.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. That's quite a story boiling up here at the moment. The US leading Italy in Italy. I'm sure via the Twitter world, news of this is spreading fast.
It's killing me. My Twitter don't work in this stadium.
You're busy.
I am busy.
Steve Cherundolo towards Altidore. Did pretty well again there. Won the header, but couldn't quite find Dempsey with it. Who was lurking with intent. Giovinco. Now Marchisio. He's dispossessed by the hard-working Maurice Edu of Rangers. Of course, Edu and Bocanegra are wondering how it will all resolve itself at Rangers and whether they will still be with the club. They may have to sell players because it's a very, very critical situation with Rangers in administration. It's scarcely believable. I think they're getting paid so far. Altidore again, brought down by Chiellini, who's going to get a yellow card for that. He's proving a handful in this second half, Josie Altidore.
Particularly the last 5 to 6 minutes, just huge. Look at this. Just good, strong, big center forward. Unlucky because he's in. It's those little things. Those don't go in the stat sheet, but it's holding the ball off, being strong. Now you give your team a set piece and a chance for a second goal.
Bradley to play it in. Not quite the delivery he was looking for. Dempsey once again.
The U.S. has to be careful here. Carlos Bocanegra is caught forward.
Giovinco. Look at Bradley covering the ground there in midfield in exactly the right place to break up that attack.
I can't tell you how big of a play that is from Michael Bradley.
He missed out. Pazzini taken down, and there might be a yellow card for that one. Yeah, there's going to be for Carlos Bocanegra. It's always in the second half the referees start pulling out the cards, isn't it?
Yeah, Maurice Edu's got to be careful turning the ball in the middle, but Carlos Bocanegra, smart foul, allowing the team to get back.
Yeah, I don't think you could have any complaints about that one.
I mean,
2 falls and a submission, wasn't it?
It's a good open field tackle.
Towards Pazzini. He's the player who first hit the headlines with that hat-trick, the first ever goals at the new Wembley in an under-21 match for Italy, Pazzini. Another one vying for starting places at the European Championships. This is a very unfamiliar territory at home for Italy. They did lose at home to Uruguay in a friendly a little while back. But as we were telling you, they won everything at home in the European Championships without conceding a single goal. Daniele De Rossi is going to come on in just a moment as well here. So the big guns are being wheeled on.
They're coming on. And again, if you're the U.S., hold your shape, hold your ground, and then catch them on the counter.
Giovinco needed to be careful. Bradley there, and he did. He needed to stand up because any kind of challenge could have meant a penalty there. He's so quick, Giovinco.
So quick. Low center of gravity, but again, third or fourth time in the last 5 minutes we've said Michael Bradley's been in the right spot at the right time to clean it up.
It's a blow to Italian pride, this, at the moment. The AC Milan right back Abate is also being lined up to come on, and that'll be all 6 substitutions by my reckoning. Used once those two come on. Changed more than half the team. Johnson plays it wide to Breck Shea. Here are those last 2 substitutions for Italy. Maggio is going to be replaced by Ignacio Abate of AC Milan, who scored against the USA in the under-23 Toulon tournament back in 2008. Only a second cap for Abate. And De Rossi, well, plenty more for him. This is his 71st, the Roma midfield player. Brian McBride among those in the coach. Just, you can't really see him. He's behind that rust-coloured bar, but you'll get the idea.
Yeah, and you talked to Brian McBride at training yesterday, and he talked about the whole experience of the 2006 World Cup. About 6-7 months after that, him and his wife came over, and he said he didn't really have to pay for a drink or a meal.
Yeah, they were genuinely sorry about it. So was De Rossi. He came, I think he went to the locker room, didn't he, and said sorry right after that, and was banned for 4 games of the World Cup and only came on for the last half an hour or so of the final.
No, and that stuff happens in games. When the player apologizes right away, you respect it.
Borini. Mind you, it was a bad offence. Awful from De Rossi, a real rush of blood. Questions on for the United States.